So, Billy Donovan, he was fired by the Thunder. Now, before I get into my thoughts of this, you might be wondering why this is coming out at 8:30 or 9 o'clock. It should be coming out. But when there's a Heat Bucks, actually the game's kind of over. There's 30 seconds left, and I also want to go to sleep because I have school in the morning. So I still want to get this out before it becomes part of the old news cycle. That's what I kind of did with Nate McMillan. I kind of wanted to stop making videos after the players protested like a week ago. That was like the day of Nate McMillan was being fired. They're kind of similar. It was kind of undeserving for Nate McMillan to get fired, but I guess in Billy Donovan's case, he kind of left voluntarily due to the fact that the Thunder want to do a rebuild. But I'm gonna get in before I get into my thoughts on it. One of the reasons that probably Billy Donovan left was because they're probably going to trade the guys you're seeing on your screen right now: Chris Paul, Steven Adams, Dinal Gallinari. They're probably going to do a sign and trade, something like that. And Schroeder, maybe. He's 26, but he's 1 year left on his contract, and that's going to be very. Teams want that, and Dennis Schroeder's a really good player, so that might happen. But I don't really see this as a rebuild for the Thunder. I see this as like a retool in a sense, because they have 13 first-round picks already and 3 swaps, and they don't really need... they're going to have to trade Chris Paul because, that point guard rotation is not going to really work in the future as Shai needs more minutes. Not that Chris Paul doesn't deserve those minutes, but, eventually you can't have 2 Hall of Fame point guards unless they can play each other. They played pretty well with each other, but you just can't have 3 point guards in the future, I guess. You can, but it's just hard to divvy up minutes and be fair to everyone and make sure Shai is getting good development and becoming the superstar, which he can become. So they kind of have to trade Chris Paul, also because he's old, and, he wants to kind of leave and go to a contending team. Not that they weren't good this year. They made the first round. But even if they made the second round, they would have been probably swept by the Lakers, even though they beat them in one of the bubble games. That game, the Lakers weren't really trying that much, so that's why they won that game. But, the Thunder can build around Shai. Darius Bazley, he looks like a good rotational piece. He started getting his three-point stroke back into the game, back to, I guess, good levels towards the end of the season. And if Lou Dort, he's an amazing defender. If he can be able to shoot the 3 right now, he shoots 29.7% from 3. If he's able to do that, then he can become a starter in this league, and a very good starter at that. But I guess Billy Donovan didn't really want to have a rebuild. They said mutually part ways, which kind of sometimes mean a nice way of saying you're fired, but that isn't true here because Billy Donovan just let his contract expire, and he's going to be a really huge candidate for some teams. I don't know. Maybe the Pacers' job is pretty good, but it would make a lot of sense if the Nets didn't hire Steve Nash. It would make a lot of sense, but I guess you wouldn't have the Kyrie and KD connection with Billy Donovan. But just from an X's and O's standpoint, like a fundamental standpoint, it would have made sense for him to be in Brooklyn. But Indiana seems like a very good spot for him to land in, and that's probably, that's my prediction actually. I think he will probably be coaching in Indiana, and that's my prediction. I know this video seems kind of rushed, but I kind of want to give some thoughts about the firing and also pay attention to what is now the Lakers Rockets game. So that's it. All right, catch you later, or catch you in 6 hours when I talk about tonight's basketball game.